Hi, this is Jillian, and this is a Miraculous ladybug fan art piece and sort of a short fanfic. Anyway, I hope you enjoy. Remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment, all that good jazz. I really do appreciate any input. Anyway, on to the video. Chat Noir was on the prowl. It was his turn to do patrol, after all. Normally, patrols were an exciting time, with or without Ladybug. They were a chance to stretch his legs, to test his strength, and to see how far he could jump. And it was good to just feel the freedom of the night air. But tonight, it was late fall, and it was cold and damp and just a dreary night. No rain yet, but it looked like it just might come a storm. He hated days and nights like this. When he was little and felt the chill in the air, he and his mother would cuddle up in a nice warm blanket, and she would read him a bedtime story. This made him think of a blanket fort and fairy lights, which made him think of Marichat's room. He didn't know why, but sometimes he would often think of his beautiful princess up in her tower, all safe and warm. He shook his head, trying to get rid of her in his mind. He liked Ladybug, and she denied him, and he had moved on, or was trying to, and now he was involved with Kagami, which he wasn't quite sure was a good choice, but she was nice to him, and his father seemed to approve of her. Besides, Marichat was scared of him, or something. He wasn't quite sure what the reason was why she couldn't talk to Adrian. And Chat Noir as a boyfriend would not have been a good choice. He would have been endangering her. If Hawkmoth got a hold of that information, Akumas would be attacking the poor girl constantly, and he didn't want to endanger her or her really nice family. So he did his best to stay away from the Dupeng Chang household. But as he continued his patrol, his nose, with its enhanced senses, caught whiff of something delicious. He got closer. It was the bakery, of course it was, smelling of vanilla and almonds, and he took another sniff of the air. Cinnamon, maybe? Whatever it was, it smelled delicious. He bought a rose from a passerby vendor and hopped onto Marichat's balcony. He made sure she was still awake, and sure enough, the little artist was up late sketching in her sketchbook. He would surprise her. Just a visit from a friend. That's all this was. He convinced himself that, at any rate. He would knock on the window, invite himself in, give her the rose and say something corny like a rose for a rose, compliment her on her sketches, which he was most certainly sure were fabulous beyond compare. If his father ever got to know the girl, he was sure that his father might actually like her. They had at least fashion in common, and Despite her nervous nature, Adrian was relatively sure Marinette liked him at least alright. And the girl's talent deserved nurturing. And his father had a nice intern system set up, so maybe in the future she might end up working for Gabriel Agreste, at least temporarily. Adrian smiled at the thought. He wanted to help her as much as he could. And he wanted to encourage her. Before he knocked, he noticed the chase, and a thought crossed his mind, and he smiled. A wicked cat-like smile. Yes, that would be good. He knocked. Marinette jumped. She wasn't expecting anyone, and then she looked outside. Of course it was the stray alley cat. What did he want? She opened it, and he smiled. Hello, princess. A pleasure as always. He all but not stepped past her. I smelt leftover pastries, and I thought maybe if you were willing you'd sell some to me. I'm starving, and I have a sweet tooth. Surely you know that by now. Oh, yes, of course, Chat. Marinette walked over to her desk, which she had a tray full of croissants. These were almond and cinnamon flavored, oddly enough, with honey and cinnamon glaze on top. That'll be €5, she said, not really intending him to pay her anything. He was the hero of Paris and her partner, and she kind of felt sorry for the boy. She felt like he was a bit too scrawny, and she didn't feel like wherever he called home fed him particularly well. I don't have loose change. Would €20 be fine? He handed her a crisp bill. She just blinked, staring at him. Don't worry about it, Chat. It's on the house. They would have gone bad anyway. Thanks. He took the croissant and ate it happily, she continuing to sketch lightly in her book. He stuck the hidden rose in between his teeth and took his position on the chase. She didn't even look up from the sketchbook for the longest, and he hoped his patience wouldn't grow thin. This joke would be worth it, he was sure. Marinette looked at him, stretched out in a semi-sexy pose, showing off his muscles. She blushed. She had not realized what a strong chin Chat Noir had, nor that his chest was so well defined. She supposed it was from all the Akuma fighting. She herself had noticed her body getting stronger as the Akuma fights continued. Chat Noir gave a smile that was so similar to the Cheshire Cat's that Marinette was sure he was taking lessons from him. Princess, he said with the rose stuck between his teeth, draw me like one of your French boys. He gave another toothy smile, and she shook her head, putting her hand over her face and blushing even harder, if that was possible. Chat, you are French. No matter how I would draw you, you're still a French boy. I'm making a Titanic reference. Ah, dear Lord Chat Noir. I know, but she looked at him again. Him with that stupid smile on his stupid, pretty face. With his stupid bed head that was too perfectly coiffed to be not on purpose. Isn't it funny? It's like a meme, he said again with childlike enthusiasm. And Marichat, despite her best efforts, and despite her better judgment, giggled. You're too much, Chad. He spit out the rose and handed it to her, making sure that whatever little saliva might have been on the rose had gotten off of it, and he stuck it into a nearby vase. I hope I at least put a smile on your face. You did, Chat. And while you're here, I might as well use you as a model to get better at drawing figures. So stay put. I am going to draw you like one of my French boys, she said, starting to sketch him out. He blushed. He hadn't intended her to actually draw him, and as much experience as he had as a model for the camera, he had never been for someone drawing him. He stiffened up slightly and then relaxed after another moment or two. He tried to give a neutral smile for her, but seeing her so intense made him smile more genuinely, which was rare for him these days.